We're so back, aren't we? Championship football, absolutely love it. I felt like I wasted like 80 minutes of my time watching that game. We may as well have just ended it at the start when it was a draw. I'm just going to move my mic. All that good work in the first half undone by some sloppy defending, and Carlton Morris bloody scored, didn't he? I don't know how many we'll get. It's 10:15 at night. I don't know. I thought I'd do this because I don't have any time in the morning. Usually I would have gone live this morning, but we'll do it tonight. We'll go through the game. I've got some notes from what I saw. Unfortunately, there was a couple of things going on that I was dealing with at the same time as the game. So for bits of it, I wasn't able to watch, unfortunately. But I obviously did my best to keep track of it and caught most of the second half. So yeah, we'll just go through the game as a whole. I'll talk through the story that I've got written down here, and we can pick off players at one point, can't we? So game started. I think Derby looked quite worryingly good at the beginning. Carlton Morris had a bit of a field day. I thought, you think Dickie's one of our like most physical and biggest defenders. I actually don't think he's all that like strong, because Carlton Morris did a job on him at the start. They had a good, chance in behind with Vyman. Nothing came of that. What have I got here? We actually got the ball out in the 10th minute. Ball in behind. Attempted pass from Twine to Reese. Not much happened at that point. And then the turning point for me in that first half was Adam Randall put in quite a gnarly challenge on Adams, and it killed the game. So Derby had, I would say, the ascendancy in the beginning of that first half. And then Adam Randall, it wasn't really a nasty challenge or anything. He just went in for a 50-50, and it completely killed the game off. So all that sort of work that Derby did, that challenge and injury to Adams, who obviously walked off from it, it killed the game. And straight after that, we were on the attack. We had the ball in the other half after that. We had a looping cross in where Reese challenged their keeper, nearly won the ball. Zetterstrom had something to do there. But Derby every time seemed to have a ball out to Carlton Morris. Every time he was on for a ball out. That's what he offers. Gotta say, I wonder why we didn't go for him in the summer. But anyway. And then the goal came. Brilliant ball from Mark Sykes into Twine. A great run from... We'll try and remember the positives before we talk about everything that happened. A great ball from Twine. And the goal really was made by... a great ball by Sykes. The goal really was made by a run that Mehmeti made to drag the defender away. It left Twine completely free on the edge of the box, and he just passed it into the net beyond their keeper. And then we were buzzing. I think Twine's had 3 shots this season, and he scored all 3. Yeah, incredible. What else do we have? We had another moment after that as well, where both Twine and Mehmeti and Reese were running at their defence. Twine had Mehmeti to his left, Reese to his right. Mehmeti probably had a clearer opportunity, but I think Reese's legs would have put him clear of their defence as well. Twine chose to pass it to Mehmeti, who it was a difficult chance for him. He had 2 defenders in front of him, but he didn't make anything of it. And that was kind of the end of the first half. We saw a little bit of play between Randall and Mehmeti at the start of the first half. And then unfortunately in the 54th minute, Emil Reese went off, and we saw on the bench that he was getting some treatment, ice on his ankle basically, which I was really quite worried about. I can't be having Emil Reese being injured. Sinks came on. We'll talk a little bit about Sinks as we go. In the 60th minute, we had a Scott Twine sort of half chance. And then that's when Derby started making their subs. So we saw Rhian Brewster, Bobby Clark, Joe Ward all come on. And then Derby started looking really good better when their subs came on. And then, I got to say, I don't really understand why it happened. Because I thought Randall was one of our best players tonight. I thought it was fantastic. He put in that challenge in the first half, and really, it was just a dogged challenge that completely flipped the game. And his last moment before he got subbed off was putting another, nasty but fair challenge in. I think it was Nyambi he put it in on. No, it wasn't. Maybe it was Sanderson or Adams again. But that was his end. And I thought Randall was fantastic tonight. He put in, the perfect away midfielder performance. And after he got subbed, after Sinks came on, I think we lost something. And after Randall went off, I thought we lost that's when we lost the game. Well, I didn't lose it. Obviously, it feels like we lost it, but that's when the game sort of fell apart. Yeah, Derby made their 5 subs by that point, so they had 5 fresh legs on, and we just had Sinclair Armstrong, and Max Bird came on, who's just about, come back from injury. and I'm not expecting Max Bird to come on and be like a world beater immediately. And then that's when it all fell apart. Obviously, their goal, I think it came from just like fatigue and tiredness. Like we made one sub due to injury, which is our striker. But I don't think that like impacts how we perform defensively. Obviously, Bird came on for Randall, which I think changed things a bit. Personally, if I were bringing Bird on, I would have taken off one of the front three for him. I guess that's not the kind of position that Struber sees him in. And yeah, because we had no fresh legs in this sort of area apart from Bird, I just think that kind of lost us. Well, got them their goal really. And then subbing on you in the 90th minute, I don't think that made too much of a difference really. It was too late for anything. I would have just liked to have seen a defensive substitution, but I think if you put yourself in Struber's shoes, who do you bring on realistically? So our bench is Tanner, Hayden Roberts. Those are the two defenders that you could bring on. Would you bring on Tanner to play centre-back? Probably not. Sykes had a really good game. McCrory looked tired, but they probably needed their physicality. And obviously Tanner is not seen. I don't think Tanner is seen as a wing-back. So it's only you as the only wing-back that he sees. And he's obviously started Sykes for the physicality. So I think Struber, with the players he had at his disposal, didn't want to make a substitution. And for me, it cries out that we need a striker to back up Emil Rees. You know, I'm not going to go in on Sinclair Armstrong. We all saw what he did today. I don't think he was positive with the movement and the power and the running, but everything like final product was just poor, wasn't it? And we need a left-footed left wing back that can come in, because we've got two right-footed right wing backs and Cam Pring. We don't have a left-footed left wing back, and I think we need one to back these guys up. And I think we need another man to support this front three as well. Stokes wasn't on the bench again for whatever reason. You know, none of our strikers, apart from Rees, have done much. I think we need you playing in one of the front three positions, to be honest, when he's not at wing back. So yeah, that's my summary of the game. Should we do some individual player ratings? Let's do some player ratings. So Radek Vitek then, he made a great save to deny the first shot on our goal from the Derby goal, and then he couldn't do anything about the goal. So yeah, great save from Vitek. Other than that, he collected a few crosses, didn't have many saves to make. I thought he had a fairly solid game from a saves perspective, but his distribution wasn't great tonight, I didn't think. Maybe a 6.57. He made a good save. I'll give him a 7. 6.57. I got to say, apart from the goal, I didn't think our back three were that bad, but they did switch off, didn't they? Dickey, I think Carlton Morris is a challenge for any championship centre-half, isn't he? But I think he got shown up a little bit in the first half against Morris. And I think he was lucky. There was one incident where he kind of tangled with Morris at the back end of the second half, I think it was. And I think that could have come off worse for Dickey, to be honest. I think all three probably get about the same rating for me. I'd give them 6.5, I reckon. Nothing too special. Our wing-backs, I thought Sykes had a good game. This was the first time he started for Bristol City this season, and he played a full 90. Both of our wing-backs, who you would imagine, we've got some stats on how far they run, I think, haven't we, from FOTMob? Have we? Maybe not in the Championship. In the Prem, you get distance covered. I'm not sure we get that in the Championship. No. But yeah, you'd imagine, right? The wing-backs are the most high-energy positions, and they both played a full 90 tonight. I thought Sykes was good. Great pass for the goal. He was good. McCrory, I don't think had his best game. He was physically there, definitely there physically. I think he needed to be subbed at the end of the game. You know, the goal, the initial header that Vitek saved, the Derby player won it because McCrory didn't put in a physical enough challenge for it. And I think that was the case because he was tired. I don't think he had the energy to do it. But yeah. Knight and Randall, I think both probably get a 6.57. They were okay. Randall, I thought, was honestly one of our best players tonight. I really think Randall was brilliant, and it was unfair for the level of performance he put in to sub him off, I think. I think Struber sees Bird and Knight as his midfield too. I think that's what he sees. But I wouldn't have put Bird on at the cost of Randall. Easy to say that in hindsight, though, I suppose. Twine, obviously, he was decent. Good free kick at the end as well. The guy is just a beast from free kicks, isn't he? And the finish was pretty quality too. He looked really upset when he went off as well. Obviously, he did all he could to win us the game. Emil Rees, I don't think he was really in this game, to be honest. I'd give him a 6. Yeah, it's just unfortunate to see him subbed. And I hope he's not injured. I hope that's just a knock and they're protecting him. Yeah, I hope that was just a knock and they're protecting him. And Mehmeti was Mehmeti tonight, wasn't he? Got in some promising positions. He played the full 90 again. So he's played almost every minute so far. So obviously Struber really likes him. But he just does what Mehmeti does, doesn't he? A little bit of frustration in the final third. And again, I probably would have subbed him for Bird. Or I would just, maybe for you. I think he should have been subbed, to be honest, tonight. Michael, I actually, you're saying Knight and Randall are too, I actually don't mind it. I think if we kept Knight and Randall for 90 minutes, you might have won the game. I really do. I think Randall, I know the goal came from something different, but I thought Randall was really good tonight. I'm going to say that, I'm going to back him up. I thought he was really good tonight. And yeah, I'm questioning whether Bird is best for that position as well. I would agree. Yeah. I think that's everything, really. I'll have a look at Twitter. We got some bookmark tweets. I quite enjoyed looking at Bristol City FM's tweets because they told a good story of the first half. They're not quite in chronological order. But yeah, at the start of the game, he was saying, it's talking about how Carlton Morris has never not had a field day against us. That first 15, 20 minutes was rough going, wasn't it? But and again, it was the challenge. We go back to it. The challenge from Randall on Adams that put Adams down and got him sent to the sidelines by the physio. That completely broke up the game and put us on the ascendancy straight after. We were right on the attack after that, and we scored our goal as a result of that kind of change in momentum. I'm just really frustrated that Randall got subbed, to be honest. I keep saying that. Bristol City FM just saying we need to create good chances for Scott Twine, and that's what we did tonight. And then, yeah, the overall first half was a really good, solid first half away performance, I thought, and then it all just fell apart from there, didn't it? Good old AM. Be at 1-0 versus 1-1. And yeah, the Morris goal. As Stokes slept with, yeah, we don't know what's happening with Stokes. We saw, so I saw in the Charlton game, I don't know if it was a relation to Stokes, but someone with the surname Stokes was retweeting people questioning why Stokes didn't play the game. I'm not trying to pull drama out of this. That's not the intention. But what I'm trying to draw from that is that Stokes probably isn't injured, because if a relative is sharing, I remember seeing it. I'm going to pull it up. I remember seeing it. I'm not trying to create drama for the sake of it, but I do think Josh Stokes is fit. There's no way that this would be happening if he wasn't. Let's have a look. Maybe he might have deleted the tweets, to be fair. Bear with. Yeah, so I don't know if this is a relation, and I'm not trying to drag out drama. I'm just trying to suggest that, Mark Stokes here, I don't know if he's a relation to Josh, but people asking why Stokes isn't on the bench, it's been retweeted by someone who I think is a relation, which suggests to me that he's fit. So I'm not saying, Struber's right to decide. He must be seeing something on the training pitch, but Josh Stokes I don't think is injured. And yeah, we've got Cornick on the bench over him, for example. So, well, yeah, anyway, that's just something I saw on Twitter. I'm not here to start fires, but it's something I wanted to mention. I think that's it. We've been live for 15 minutes. It's 10:30. I want to go to bed. I've had a long day. We drew 1-1 away at Derby. It's like the drama alert at Bristol City. I just thought it just suggests that Josh Stokes is fit, isn't it? I'm not too, think about it, right? Going into this season, first 3 games, we had, Sheffield United away, Charlton, Derby. If we came away from that with 1 win and 2 draws, So we've not lost yet. We're undefeated. We played 4 competitive games this season, and we're undefeated. 3 of them in the league undefeated as well. Conceded 2 goals in those 4 games. Still unbeaten. You can't be too upset. It's frustrating, obviously, and it could feel like a loss the way we kind of gave up that game. Oh, and there's one more thing as well. There's one more thing I wanted to say. I think there is something in the DNA of Bristol City, and there has been for a long time, and we've said it. But when we go 1-0 up in a game, these players just sit off. And this is not what Gerhard Struber wants to do. Every interview we've heard from Gerhard Struber, when we score a goal, he wants us to go again and try and score. That's what we did against Sheffield United when we were winning at halftime or whatever. We went out in the second half, went for the jugular and scored 2 more. This is not what Gerhard Struber wants his team doing. So these players, I don't believe, are under instruction to try and soak up a 1-0 lead and sit off. That's not what they're under instruction to do. So I think there's something in the DNA of this club where this happens. I'm not trying to not trying to massively start drama or say it's a massive issue, because we're still undefeated this season, but it is something in the DNA of this football club where this kind of softness happens when we're sort of 1-0 up. I'm not going to go into it anymore because we just don't need to. We're undefeated this season so far, and we're on to the next one. If you're going to Fulham away, give us a shout on Twitter, because I'm currently going on my own. So it'd be good to meet up with some people if you go in. That's the next game. Emil Rees, he might not play that one, which is a little bit of a worry. So I guess we're looking at Sinclair Armstrong starting up front against Fulham. So that's interesting. And then obviously we've got Hull. It's on Saturday, isn't it, before the international break? I think if we get a win against Hull at home, I think we can suggest the first 4 games in the Championship of the season we can take that. 2 wins, 2 draws. I think we can take that. If we draw or lose against Hull, not ideal. But I think if we win, we can be happy with that. All right, cheers for watching, everyone. Have a good one.